And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in radio broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 3,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in radio broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our newer number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6th position rotary selector. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Kilo 4, Golf Echo, November.
Roger, Roger. Station Echo, November. Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically, please.
Call sign slowly, phonetically, please. Kilo 4, Golf Echo, November.
Roger, Roger. Golf Echo, November. What's the name there?
Roger, Roger. Golf Echo, November. What's the name there? Name is Brian, Bravo, Romeo, India, Alpha, November.
Roger, Brian. What's your location, sir?
Roger, Brian. What's your location, sir? Indian Trail, North Carolina. South Central North Carolina.
Roger, Roger. And what radio is that you're running today, sir?
Roger, and what radio is that you're running today, sir? ICOM 7300 with SM50 desk mic.
Roger, Roger, Brian. Well, the first thing, if you're interested in our setup, would be for you to check out your transmit bandwidth. We want that on wide 100 to 2900, Roger. You have 3 options there, and the best one is that wide 100 to 2900. It allows that transmitter of yours to be all that it can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger, Roger.
Somebody else's conversation. Roger, Roger. Roger, it's set there now. Over.
Roger, Roger. Okay, so then move to your compressor, and we want that on a 3 out of 10, and that's what the 7300 is. So we want that's a compressor on a 3, Roger.
We want that's a compressor on a 3, Roger. All right, I was running a 1, and now I'm at 3 on compression.
Roger, Roger. Okay, so then move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, we're just interested in the first half of that word. You become a human test generator. And what I want you to do is say that word at the approximate level that you would say any other word in a QSO. And as you say the word, you have your hand on the mic gain, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter as you say the word audio, and we're not concerned about the last half of that word. It's just the part, and adjust your mic level control until you're in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger.
Or you're in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger. Audio. Okay, that looks about accurate there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's the hardest part, is to get that level of your normal QSO into that. You know, a lot of people have the tendency to really, when they do that, to step on that word and really punch it up. But you don't want to do that. You just want to yoke it out, kind of like you do, you know, any other word in that QSO. And it looks to me like you've done that. What I'd like to do is hear you for about 10 seconds as you tell me about your antenna system, Roger.
Tell me about your antenna system, Roger. All right, the ICOM 7300 is on an end-fed wire from my antennas with a few modifications. 49-to-1 transformer. The shack is on the second floor, below the window, exactly 12 feet below the window. So my coax run is a whopping 12 feet of LMR 400 into the 2K transformer, which is 49-to-1. Off the 49-to-1 transformer is 150-foot 12-gauge wire, running from 3 feet up to 70 feet, almost a 45-degree angle up into a pine tree. That's the antenna. The amplifier is an ACOM 1010, and right now it's at 500 watts, Roger.
Roger that, roger that. Okay, so I'm monitoring you on my 7300, which on the receive side we're down to 100 cycles. And you're looking good there, and I'm thinking about maybe increasing your bass just a tad. But before I do that, I'm inclined to suggest that maybe you work that mic just a little bit closer. I almost feel some frequency response of the room, you know. So maybe I think maybe you should be maybe 3 inches away from that mic, no further than 3 inches. And let me hear you there, Roger.
Yeah, and the room does lend itself to those issues. The way this is a cubby hole in a large bedroom, and it does produce that. I've heard it on the headphones. So that's. I would say right at 3 inches. By the way, the bass is set at -1 here, and treble +1. Roger?
Roger, roger. Okay, I think that fairly well eliminates your room bounce. I didn't hear any that time. Not enough to draw my attention to it, so I would say that you could run it just like that. Just remember where that position is. I want to try to increase your bass just a tad. Maybe go to flat on your EQ1 bass, and let me hear you flat on your EQ1 bass, Roger.
I'm flat there on the bass, and the SM50 does have the low cut button, and I have it turned off, so the low cut is inactive on the microphone. And I just increased bass to level flat or 0. Over.
Roger, roger. Okay, so and then on your top end, your treble EQ, what is that reading right at the moment?
Treble is +1.
Okay, so I would shimmy that up to a +3, and let me hear you on a +3 as you give me about 10 seconds and tell me what you love about your 7300, Roger.
Well, this was, it's about a 10-year-old radio. I've never done an upload, no SD card, no update on the way, I forget what it is, the updates that come through. No CW here, no FT8, only sideband, occasional AM, FM, and that's rare. So 95% of the time this radio is operated in SSV mode, and I got the full manual out after 8 to 10 years the other day out of boredom and started going through the full manual, and still coming up with things that didn't know the radio could do. Over.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, I'm hearing a little bit of hand noise on that microphone. Now, is that, are you on, what kind of a holder do you have on that mic?
Mic gain's too high.
I'm sorry?
There was a comment, mic gain's too high. The mic is on a solid base, and it's got a rubber pad under it. I know that'll solve it. I'm not running Vox. but that'll lock it down there and that'll eliminate that noise. But there was another station said mic gain is too high.
Well, yeah. The other one that said 3 too hot on the compressor, you know? Yeah, well, anyway. But let's go back. Any time that you do make a modification to your audio chain, you should go back and double-check your modulation level. So in that way, he could be correct. Who knows? The only way you know is by going back and doing that and then adjusting your mic level control until your ALC meters in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3, Roger.
Yeah, and it may be a bit too hot. The other station sounded close enough to give an accurate portrayal there. So I'm at 35% mic gain, compressor now at 2. Bass and treble settings are at flat and 3.
Roger. Okay, so we want to be very clear about that compressor. We want that compressor on a 3. That is the best place for a compressor to be. When you start going past the 3, then you start having suck up between words, which doesn't do anybody any good. But we've done a lot of work on this, and a 3 is ideal for the compressor of the 7300. Roger, it's not coming up with trash between words, and that's what you want or don't want, as the case may be.
Well, I guess the question at this point, a normal voice at about 3 inches, is the audio too hot? That's what I guess I'm asking.
Yes, sir. It sounds perfect to me. What we're trying to do is create a 3 dB dynamic range. Now, you know, if you start with unprocessed audio, that's called a 10 dB dynamic range. In other words, if I had a VU meter tied across a PA system of a football game or something that you were calling, then my level would be bouncing around there because, we would have a 10 dB dynamic range situation since we haven't been compressing anything. But for a broadcast, we need a fatter signal. So we take that 10 dB dynamic range signal and move it down to and incidentally, a 10 dB dynamic range has a 30% peak modulation index. So what we do is move that down to a 3 dB dynamic range, and then we have an 80 to 85% of peak modulation, which is a whole another animal, Roger.
Okay, well, if that's satisfactory, the ALC looks maybe a tick hot. I wonder if I should reduce that mic gain.
Well, you don't want, you want to stay in that 7 or 2/3 position on your ALC meter. That's the kicker right there. You don't want to be up into the right hand into the red of the ALC, and then you want to be to the right of center always. Towards that 7 or 2/3 position, Roger. And that's the game. And I would play that game quite often. If you were to leave your ALC meter out as you talk to your friends and neighbors around the world, and concentrate on keeping that voice right in that ALC sweet spot of 7 or 2/3, Roger.
Roger that. Okay. Well, I thank you for that. I'm sure other stations are wanting to get in, and appreciate the kind of polishing up there, and I'm sure through some DX communication and then some of the closer neighbors will get it fine-tuned. Thank you for your help. Kilo 4, Golf, Echo, November.
Roger, Brian, 73, sir. Thanks for checking by. And if you want to hear your audio as it stands now, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. We'll have it updated to YouTube by noon tomorrow. And it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 7300 right now. Roger?
All right. Thank you for your help.
Roger. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
AB0TL.
Station TL, come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically, please.
Tango Lima. The name is Bruce, and I'm located in Missouri, just south of St. Louis.
Roger, Bruce, and what radio are you running today, sir?
The ICOM 7300. I have a Heil boom mic with the ICM microphone.
Yes. Okay, so first thing we want to do is be sure that 7300 is in that wide transmit bandwidth, the wide TBW, 100 to 2900. You have a selection of three possible resolutions in your transmit bandwidth, and we want the one called wide. Roger?
I can confirm that it is wide, and the compressor is on level 3.
Roger. So I understand you are in that wide transmit bandwidth of 100 to 2900. Is that Roger?
Well, actually, it is set to, I'm going to it as we speak, it is set to 300 to 2900.
Roger. Well, gosh, just normally we would just do wide, 100 to 2900. Then when we go up in the EQ, and we would start cutting at 200. So, but I do suggest that you follow the normal wide transmit bandwidth, which is 100 to 2900 on that selection, and then we'll catch the rest of it on EQ. Roger.
Okay, I have made that change 100 to 2900. The bass is +1 and the treble is +2.
Alrighty, so let's do your treble first. We want that +3 clicks boost from where you are. Treble EQ +3 boost from where you are. Roger?
I was at a 2 and now I'm at 5.
Excellent. Okay, let's go to your bass, and I want -5 on that. Bass -5. Roger?
Bass is -5.
Okay, now I want you to go back to your, let's go on to your ALC to set that level. As you look at your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and you say the word audio, and you say that word just at the level of any other audio word that you might say in a QSO. In other words, don't stress it, just say it, and then with your mic gain control, adjust it to where it's in the sweet spot of 100 to 20, of 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter. So 7 or 2/3 is the sweet spot on your ALC meter, and as you say the word audio, we're not interested in the last half of that word, just and adjust your mic level until you're 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Audio. Bringing it down, the mic gain was up to 60. Audio. I'm almost off on the microphone. Gain. Audio. It's bouncing between a 7 and a 9.
Right. You might be saying that word a little hotter than what you would normally say. The word, the intensity. That's the thing. That's the trick of being able to do that, is reaching this kind of the same level as you do in your normal QSO level. Roger?
Yeah, that would be hard. Audio.
But remember that you can hold that word out, audio, and singers can probably do that better. It's called a held note, but the longer you hold it, the easier it is to adjust. Because otherwise you have to adjust your mic level control to a speech pattern which is full of amplitude and it's up and down and whatever. But when you say the word audio, you have a fairly steady state tone, of which setting that mic level should be fairly easy. Roger?
Roger. Audio.
Roger. Okay, so it looks pretty good to you?
Yep, it's about a 7.
Roger. Okay, I'm looking at your audio on my view meter, the output of the 7300, and it's, let's see, yes, I'm in the 7300, and you're sounding about 7 over, 8 over, somewhere in there. So why don't you tell me about your antenna system for a little bit, and let me see where we are. Roger?
Okay, first off, I'm running an AL811H. It's tuned to about 600 watts, and I am running an end-fed antenna. It's up about 15 feet on the feed point, and it goes up slightly to 20, all open air, no obstruction. It's from myantennas.com, but it's an end-fed 80 through 10 wire.
Roger, Roger. And what kind of mic did you say you were running there?
The the Heil ICM.
Roger, that's the desk mic?
It's on a boom.
Roger, Roger. Do you happen to have a windscreen around?
I could probably locate one.
I think that would be really neat because I do suggest that because here you have this lonely microphone that its duty is to translate the vibrations of your voice into electron impulses. And then, when you speak, you have wind currents and currents that are much beyond the level of the word that you're saying. So here's this microphone looking for these impulses to translate, and all of a sudden, here comes this hurricane gale through there, and this microphone's trying to figure out, what am I going to do with that? Well, the answer is distort, because it doesn't have any option of processing it any other way. So what the foam windscreen does is redirect those wind currents away from the element even before they become a problem for the element. Roger?
But Jim, then I cover up my pretty gold microphone. I have installed the foam windscreen. It was fairly close.
Yes, sir. I would run with that. It just is such a beauty. And what it does, every microphone known to mankind has got certain good parts, and then there's certain bad parts. And I don't care whose microphone it is. Any microphone can have problems, and probably does. You have to work it in a special way, just like the Bob Howe's beautiful hand mic for the 7300. Man, that thing, oh gosh, talk about fidelity, talk about making a radio sound good. That microphone does, if you work it the right way. You pull it over and you touch the corner of your lips at about a 45-degree angle to hit on, and work it sideways. And that microphone is tremendous. What I'm saying is, though, any mic, I think, can be improved by a foam windscreen. It's just one of those final touches that, here's this guy out in a pickup truck or something, or whatever it is, dust everywhere, and that guy's talking about a foam windscreen. That's like a bullet in the head. I don't need that. Well, you do. If you care. If you don't care about your audio, you might as well use a tin can and a couple of pieces, or let's see, 2 tin cans and a piece of wire, and you got a telephone system of sorts, But so anybody that really cares about their audio, I think they should get themselves a foam windscreen. Roger.
Roger. Well, it is installed, and we're ready to see how that works. Although I am covering up my pretty gold, I don't know about that, but I get what you mean and understand the process.
Yes, sir. Well, you could take a picture of your, of that microphone and a color picture, and then just set it on top of your radio, so you can look at it. Roger?
Roger. I'll make it a background on my computer.
Yes, sir. That's the way to do it. All right, sir. Sounds really good. If you want to hear your radio before you, you can now. Well, not now. We're not, even ready to edit yet. But if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3700, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger. This is the first time I've heard your session here, your net. Do you take any questions? I was curious about the audio scope on the receive. I'm watching it, but I know there's levels and times, and I don't know how to set those. And I was just curious if that was something you covered, or if that is not in your wheelhouse.
Well, no. What you hear just heard is pretty much it. That's you're pretty much set to go there on the transmitter. As far as the receive side, the only thing I would suggest, not the only thing I know is about the 7300, and the way we run it is probably unusual, but we tie the audio level and the RF level together at the off point. In other words, we pan both to off, tie them together, and then come up as a unit. And just as you start to see a noise on your meter, back it off. That's what we do. And we have enough volume there, and we have enough RF sensitivity. But we have negated our S meter because we are backed off on our total sensitivity on the RF gain of that 7300. Roger.
Roger. Okay. Well, back to the net. I appreciate your help, and hope you have some more good contacts. This is AB0TL.
Roger, Bruce, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. And if you have a radio you want to check out, we're in business here till 5 o'clock or thereabouts. However, if we don't have much traffic, all things being equal, I might go fishing and never know. This is the Qso-Vlog net. All right, so I'm up north now on my SDR antennas. I'm up around Pennsylvania and New York, around through there. This is KC9VKV. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KC9VKV. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Kilo Quebec 4 Lima Tango X-ray.
Station ending in X-ray. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Station ending in X-ray. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign. Kilo Quebec 4 Lima Tango X-ray. This is Jeff.
Roger, Jeff. Lima Tango X-ray. Is that a Roger?
Roger, Jeff. Lima Tango X-ray. Is that a Roger? That's a Roger, correct.
Roger, Jeff. And where are you located, sir?
Roger, Jeff. And where are you located, sir? I'm out of Middle Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
All right, Jeff, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and I'll look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
And I'll look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger. Roger, that.
Feeding into a half-wave infed.
Okay, Jeff, gosh, I just went to my local antenna and you're about to blow me away. Looks like about 12 over. What radio is that you're running?
The Yaesu FTDX10.
Roger. Okay, so if you were interested in our setup, the first thing would be to make sure we're in that wide transmit bandwidth, TBW, 100 to 2900. You have an option there, and we want it in that wide mode, 100 to 2900, Roger.
I don't know where that is on my radio.
Okay, so let me give you a hint. I hope. It should be menu, settings, transmit, sideband, and then that should put you right into the transmit bandwidth area, Roger. And I'll go through that again. It's menu, settings, transmit, sideband, and right in there should be your transmit bandwidth, TBW, and we're looking for the one that's called wide, maybe 100 to 2900, Roger?
Roger that, looking for it.
They might call it something else. Just look for boxes, 3 boxes that have different resolutions on them, and one of those will probably be 100 to 2900. Roger?
Roger.
What are you seeing at the moment?
We'll have a radio setting and operator setting. On the operator setting, I have a transmit audio, but it's got the AM/C release time, EQ1 frequency, and so on.
Yeah, no, we want sideband. So let me give you the sequence again. Menu, settings, transmit, sideband. And right in there is where your transmit bandwidth is, 100 to 2900. If you don't know where it is, maybe we'll just take a pass and take a note on that, and you can find that at your leisure. But you're really close, right in there.
Yeah, there's all kind of settings on here I haven't explored. We'll just move on if I'm good to go.
Yeah, so make a note that we want that radio in the wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, TBW. Wide 100 to 2900 would be note 1, Roger? And what I'm saying is you probably are already in the proper mode. I mean, that is the normal resolution that that radio would come to you, the package new. You would think that it would be in that wide transmit bandwidth to be able to really show the ability of that radio, because if you're in some funky 500 to 2500 TBW, you're in trouble. And if you don't know it, you're in trouble the rest of your life, because you're running this funky 500 to 2500 thing. You don't even know it, because you haven't looked to see what it is. You might assume, but you know what they say about assumptions. So the only way that you can really be sure the way your radio is running is best is by actually seeing the TBW and making sure it's in that wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. And then that gives you the ability for that transmitter of yours to be all that it can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight, to keep you out of somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Roger that.
Okay, so the first note is TBW 100 to 2900. Then move to your compressor processor. We want just a barely little bit of that. I mean, just a little bit. We want to be very finesseful with our compressor processor on and at a 3. Compressor processor on and at a 3 would be note 2.
All right, processor level on 3.
Roger, roger. Then on to your ALC meter. And what we're looking for there is, when you say the word audio, you have your hand on your mic gain control, and I want you to adjust your mic gain control until your ALC meter is running in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. And the word that you'll be saying is and don't stress it. Just try to say it at the same level you would say any other word in a QSO. So and adjust your mic level until you're in the sweet spot on the ALC meter of 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Roger that.
Okay, probably more than audio, Of course, I don't want to tell you how to say the word, but I know when I say it, I get and I'm right at looking at my view meter. I mean my spectrum analyzer. It's right about 500 cycles or so.
That right there is 3/4 on my ALC meter.
Yes, sir. Looks good. Now, that sounds like a hand mic that you might be running, Roger.
Yes, that's a stock hand mic.
Yes, sir. So the best way to run that hand mic is pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Do not talk directly into it. As you look at the microphone, pull it to the corner of your lips at about a 45-degree angle off head end, and actually touch the corner of your lips as you speak with that mic. Roger?
Roger that. How's it sounding now?
Yeah, so that minimizes a bunch of noise, plosives and other mouth noises. So that's the way you want to run that mic, about 45-degree angle across it. Or, the other thing would be a foam windscreen. If you were, particularly gifted. See, that's always the difficulty about trying to figure out how are you going to put a foam windscreen on a hand mic. Well, there's a lot of different ways. One of them is you just cut a little patch 1 inch by 1 inch off the head of the foam windscreen, and then find out exactly where that mic is on the hand mic and put it right over that. So that's one way. And the other way is if you were to take a slit at the top of the foam windscreen, so you can get that PTT switch in there without being keyed by the foam windscreen. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. I just went to my son's room and got he's got one of those microphones for gaming, and I took his cover off and flipped it over my mic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that's beautiful. And with the advent of running a foam windscreen, then you can just about run address that microphone almost any way you want, except from the backside. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the foam windscreen allows you not to be concerned particularly about the way that you address that mic. Roger?
Roger that. That sounds good.
Roger. So why don't you tell me now about the best thing you like about your radio?
Right now, it's just being able to knock noise out. I live in a pretty good-sized neighborhood, and there's a lot of noise, and with this DNR, I can tend to knock stuff out and still hear people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so do you know where your equalization page is?
Yes, I do know where that one is, I believe.
Okay, so what kind of an equalizer does it look like? Is it, first off, you may be in a P set of controls. A lot of radios, when you turn their processor on, they default to a P-PAL set of EQ controls. Roger, do you see anything like that?
Yes, it's looks like a shortened version of parametric EQ1 frequency and EQ1 level and so on.
Yes, sir. So do you have 3 EQ positions on that that radio in the P-PAL mode?
Yes, and there's actually one of them that there's 3 for PRM TRC and 3 for P-space PRM TRC.
Okay, so well, I'm not real sure which is the different EQ back. Did anybody know, particularly on a FTDX10 in the compression in the processor mode, which is the proper EQ track? We have, well, stumped me. I'm not real sure. I guess we could find out. Why don't we just take the second one, and if you have a base control, EQ1, do a full rollout on that, minus whatever it is, minus 10, minus 15. Let's see if we're on the right control, Roger.
All right, is that on the EQ1 frequency level or bandwidth?
Frequency control. That's the attenuation push or minus frequency that we're going to be using on EQ1. Roger?
Roger. The frequency one goes from off to 700 hertz.
Okay, and what's the next one? What's the other EQs in that area? You have, you're going to have more than one EQ control, Roger.
Yeah, the second one has negative and positive. It's set on. It was set on 5.
But what frequency? What frequency, sir?
That's the parametric EQ1 level.
All right, so do you have 3 parametric EQs in that bank?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that mid-range one, that number 2 EQ. We want that to be off or flat. It should be in the area of 700 cycles up to 1.4, 1.5. We want that to be off or plus or minus 0 flat.
All right, there it is.
All right, so then let's go to number 3. And can you insert a frequency into EQ3?
It has off 100 hertz, 200 hertz, and 400 hertz.
Okay, that's EQ1. We're looking for number 3. There's the top end. Roger, Roger. The other one, number 3. Number 1, I think, is your base EQ control. Number 3 is your treble. Roger?
Roger that. Yeah, I hit the wrong one. It is the off 1500, 1600, 17, all the way up to 3200.
Roger, Roger. Okay, so if you can put in there a 2700, that's the magic push cut frequency ideal for your treble EQ. So it is EQ3, and if you can put in, or if you have 2.7 kilohertz, Roger?
Roger that. It's on 2700 hertz now.
Okay, and then we want to push that by what's your max push level?
10, and that's what it's on right now.
Okay, so do you have a frequency width control?
Yes.
Okay, so we want that width to be a 4. So just reviewing your EQ3, it's 2.7 is the push frequency. You're running a plus 10, and your width is a 4. Roger?
Roger that.
Okay, so then what I want you to do is let's go down to EQ1, your base frequency, and put in 200 hertz. 200 hertz on number 1 EQ. Roger?
Roger that.
Okay, then we want a width of 4 on that one also. Width of 4 at 200 hertz. Roger? Hello.
All right. And on the level, is that negative or positive?
What kind of level reading are you doing now? Is it a plus or minus?
It is on 0.
Okay, so what I want you to do, let's go back and get your ballistics a little bit better on your audio level. So back as we are looking at our ALC meter, as you say the word audio, and adjust your mic level until you're in that sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Roger that. Oh, yeah, it went way down.
Might have hit your VFO. We're on 7188.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. So now, did we get a good level on our audio on the 7 or 2/3 on the ALC meter?
Yeah, there we are. 7, about 7, a little over 7.
Okay, so then back to your EQ, and we want that, are we at a -5 on our 200 EQ1, 200 hertz at -5, Roger?
No, EQ1, that was at 0. Hold on. All right, there's a -5.
Okay, so then I want you to tell me about your antenna system there for about 15 seconds, Roger, so I can listen.
Roger that. The antenna is just in-fed half wave, 80 through 10. It's got good SWRs on every band. 10 is at least the highest one at 1.8.
Roger, Roger. So I would take too much, I would take 2 more clicks off your base EQ number 1 at the 200 cycle one. I would do a -7. Can you do a -7 on that for EQ?
Roger that. We're at -7.
All right, and let's see here. Tell me something for 10 or 15 seconds I don't know.
Not much going on. We're just waiting out the rain here. I think you mentioned fishing earlier. That's where I'd rather be, but the weather's just not cooperative today.
Roger, Roger. So that is your hand mic, is that a Roger?
Yes, sir. That is the hand mic.
Okay, so the way you're working, it's really good. I'm not hearing any kind of plosives there. Take that bottom EQ number 1, 2 more clicks minus. Does that kind of be a -10 or so?
It's on -10 now. It can go to -20.
Okay, and we're full up. You're on that 2.7 kilohertz. 2.7 kilohertz on your EQ3, your treble. Just to review that, 2.7 kilohertz at maxed out and a width of 4. Is that a Roger?
On 3, what was it supposed to be?
It's maxed out at 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4.
Yeah, hold on. For some reason, I think I changed it. 1 second. Oh, no, there it is.
Okay, so EQ3 is, you've got in there 2.7 kilohertz as the push frequency, and you're pushed all the way out the door to a plus whatever it is. You're maxed out on your push, and you're running a 4 width on that EQ3. Roger?
Roger that. It's 2700 hertz, level 10, bandwidth 4.
Okay, sounds pretty good. Do you have any more cut on your base frequency EQ1? Can you attenuate any more on that EQ?
Yeah, I can go down to 20, -20 level.
Okay, so let's just go down 3 more from where we are, minus 3 more from where we are at the moment. Roger?
Roger that. Now we are at -13 with 200 hertz, bandwidth 4.
All right, so now let's go back to, anytime you make an adjustment in your audio chain, you need to go back and reset and double-check your modulation level, because things change. As you change one thing, something else changes. So you want to go back. You have the opportunity to go back and reset your mod level. So back to that ALC meter as you say the word audio and adjust your mic gain until you're 7 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Audio, 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 all right.
All right, sir. Now, tell me, gosh, I don't know if we've done this, but about your radio, the one specific thing that you really like about your radio.
The best thing about it right now is it's paid for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand that, and thank goodness. Other than that, I'm going to need to hear you just a little bit more. If I could hear something I don't know for about 15 seconds, Roger.
Roger that. I got into radios after I got out of riding motorcycles. Too many wrecks and close calls, and so I decided to tame it down and move over to radios. My uncle had done ham radio, and it just seemed interesting.
Yes, sir. Okay, minus two more clicks on that EQ1, your bass frequency. Minus 2 additional from where you are, Roger?
Roger, 1 second. There we go. That's negative 15 on EQ1.
Roger. Say, I want you to stay. Remember how to run that mic. You have to pull it to the corner of your lips and then just talk across it there. And remember that, because those hand mics are great, but you have to work them in a particular way to nullify any noise that they might make. And the best way to do that is just to work across that mic as opposed to directly into it, Roger.
Roger that. Thank you so much.
November 9, Golf Tango Oscar.
Well, there he is. My Omer. Hello, that's Lou in 9GTO.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, sir?
I can't complain. I'm on your favorite radio, 7300.
Yes, sir, that certainly is. And, I guess if I had to go into battle or whatever it was, and I had the choice of one radio, I would pick that 7300.
I was hoping I could mount one on your bicycle and we could go bicycle Mobile.
Oh, you could do that, but there's so many crazy drivers. I got to read my insurance policies.
Well, what about the duck up there in the park? You think he would mind the 7300?
I went the other day to look for that duck, and I didn't find him or his family. So, gosh, but it's been like 10 years, or no, it hadn't been that long, but it's been a while.
Everybody knows you from bicycle and Mobile.
Yes, sir. Well, we did have a run there for 2 or 3 years, and everything went fine until that one time you have to kind of navigate into the park if you come in. There's a chain link fence that you have to go around, and I was going through all that stuff, and I had stopped just as I was coming into the park. I was winded, so I was just getting a couple of breaths of air before I came on into the park, and we were just sitting there, and my bike started to go to the right, so I tried to kick my foot out to break my fall, or to stop it from going right, and I could not get my foot off the pedal. I couldn't get my foot out to break my fall, and I darn near broke my neck, and we really looked stupid. I mean, for somebody just to fall over on their bike, and you're kind of in a daze there as you come to, more or less, and you're looking around to see who might have observed this fine art of bike riding. But and it turns out that Glenn Close Enough was in charge of the design of that pedal, and he said, we should put a little stop at the edge of that pedal so people's feet don't fall off. And that's what almost killed me.
Oh, my goodness. How many check-ins have you had today?
Oh, 4 or 5 somewhere. Looking good.
Good deal. And the time is?
The time is 4:32, thereabouts. Let me see. Yeah, 32.
Good deal. You sound like you're good. You survived the great deep freeze.
Oh, yeah. Well, gosh, I've never seen snow hang around like this.
Oh, it did indeed. I said God put it there. He needs to come and get it, and he did.
Roger. Well, maybe I guess mine is pretty much gone, but I have got this little cook area in the back that has some sheet metal roofing on it, and I have seen it handle a foot of snow. So, needless to say, when this snow amount started coming past a foot, I said, "Uh-oh."
How'd it survive?
So far, not even a leak, which is great because, the thing is with those metal roofs, as you come down to the nitty-gritty of water coming off it, if your water level is above your seam level, you might have some little damp spots there.
Yeah, I always, when we put that up, we used a 50-year silicone. Just a dab on each ridge. So when the ridge went over the other one, it sealed it up. Roger.
Well, what we were doing, we were adding some steel stuff to a ridge that we had already put in the year before. So we were sliding this underneath the old stuff. And so far, that just worked beautifully. We changed the angle down a little bit more than what we were matching, so everything just worked great.
Well, good deal. You're sounding good, as always. And I'm only on 100 watts. So 100 watts and a wire, and on the what you call the fan dipole, the slinky up in the attic. Over.
Ah, right. Well, you're sounding. Gosh, I would say the noise level there. You're about look like about 15 over. So sounds really good.
We got good conditions then.
Roger, it might be even more than that, man. My meter's all the way down. 15, yeah. I would say 15, Roger.
Good deal. Yeah, you're 20 over. So, yeah, good deal. This thing, I use a manual tuner, to go to 40 and 80. I tried it on 160, and it's a little finicky. But, yeah, there's a picture of it on my QRZ page. It's in the attic. I took the tuner down. There was a tuner up there, and it wasn't doing very good, so it's just got a direct connection.
Roger, you're doing the tuning downstairs?
Yeah, in the walk-in radio room here in the bedroom.
Roger. That's the best place so you can get to it, because stuff changes, sometimes, and you have to make little corrections there. And if you're up you have to go up on the roof to do that, or up on the ceiling, it's kind of inconvenient.
Oh, I'll let somebody else hang it. It's got a rope supporting the slinky, and it's 33 feet of slinky on each end. And then there's a 1-to-1 choke, and then after that, it's just coax coming down.
Roger. Well, all right. Sounding good, man. Sounding real good.
All right. Thank you, sir. I look forward to hearing your my audio on the next production. Pick it up, and I'll be listening for more. And then GTO.
Roger. You've been on my my local antenna, the 7300 output. So, best frequency response down to 100 cycles. Should sound to you just beautiful. Catch you later, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and I was talking with Jeff down in Tennessee. Jeff, you still there, buddy? Okay, this is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
AR4, 19 South, you have Kilo Romeo 4 India Delta Whiskey.
India Delta Whiskey, Roger, what's the name?
The name is Steve, Jim. I'm over here in Fairdale, South Louisville, pretty much your neighbor. I've talked to you before. You helped me set the ICOM 7300 up, and right now I'm running remotely through the ICOM 7300, and I wonder if it degraded the audio or if it sounds just fine on this laptop.
Roger, sounds a little hot, so I'm not real sure. We want to leave... leave the 7300 like it is so you can run it like normal, Roger?
Roger, yeah, no, I can leave it like it is, but I wanted to know if it sounded acceptable audio-wise or if I needed to do something a little different with it.
Roger. Well, it sounds a little distort on the peaks, but I'm not real sure. And what I would like for you to do, if you have a volume control on that mic somewhere, you could pull it down a little bit. I could see if things get better or not. Roger. So what I was saying, if there's somewhere where you were a 40, a 50, somewhere in there, and you could pull it down to a 30, minus 10 clicks from where you are, just out of curiosity, see what kind of effect that has on what I'm listening to, Roger?
Roger, yeah, I pulled it back some, turned it down a little bit. It just takes me a second to get there because these little bitty buttons I have to tick with the keypad are so small I have to look at them real close.
Roger, Roger. Now you could come up a little bit. That was really clean. So we do have cleanliness in our audio, and it just depends on how far we can push it. So if you were down 10 clicks from where you were, if you come back 5, so we're down 5 from where we were, but up 5 from where we just were. Roger, Roger.
Roger, all right. We put a little more adjustment in there. We went up a few clicks, like you said. Not much difference.
Yeah, so that sounds pretty clean. I would run that. And when would you use that? Would you use that on an internet connection or somehow?
Well, it goes through my cell phone to the cell tower, out on the internet, back into my modem, into my router, into my desktop, and my desktop is a server. And it goes from there into my radio and transmits through my radio.
Oh, boy, that almost sounds like a Shaggy Dog story. But I'll tell you what, from all that coming and going, your audio really sounds good, I didn't realize exactly what you were doing, but you're coming off your cell phone?
Dangerous situation. So I would take something like this with me out on a job site and just play around with it while I'm basically sitting there staring, making sure the day's going good.
Roger, Roger. We doubled some of that, Steve, but I'm just saying, after I realized how the chain is that you're going through to get out, man, it sounds just beautiful. So I would run it just like that. So you're coming through your cell phone, through the internet to your computer, essentially, and then into your radio. Roger?
That's exactly it, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, then, in that case, I would run it just like that, because I cannot tell that you were doing that. I mean, it was so clean that, the only thing, you were a little hot that first time, and then when we backed off 10, then went back 5, that's the great level. There's no distortion, and the words have life, and it really sounds good. Roger?
Roger. Well, we're talking on the ICOM 7300 with just 100 watts right now, and the inverted V, and of course, no matter where I go, it would be talking back here off of that combination, and that's what I would get. And it seems to be working fine for me out there in the receive, and I just wanted to get your opinion on the audio on it. I appreciate you very much.
Yes, sir. Now, can you give me a shout from are you right there at your base station, that you could give me a shout from your regular mic?
Yeah, hang on. Let me click this. I've got to turn the regular mic on. Hang on just a second.
All right. I just wanted to be sure we were still ready to go on our regular situation. That sound, the way you were doing through your cell phone, sounds really good.
I believe that's got it on the regular mic, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm sorry, there's another station. If there is another station, stand by just a moment, sir. So, Steve, you're on your local antenna, your local microphone now?
Yes, sir, I believe I am. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's coming through the regular mic now, but it's so close to the other mic, I really can't tell the difference right now, because I'm running remotely right here at the desk just to test it.
Roger. Yeah. Well, I think it is coming through your local regular mic there, as opposed to the cell phone. And so both of them sound really, really good. And if you want to hear them, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger.
Roger. I appreciate you very much, Jim. You have a good weekend. 73's KR4IDW on the side.
Roger, Steve, 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If there was another station out there, come ahead.
KD2. Good afternoon, Jim. This is Kilo, November 4, Hotel, KN4HH. My name is Bob, over.
Okay, Bob, and come back slowly, Bob, with your call sign phonetically.
Sure. Kilo, November 4, Hotel. Kilo, November 4, Hotel.
All right, sir. And Bob, what's your location, sir?
Well, let me explain my location. The transmitter is located in Atlanta, Georgia. However, I'm sitting in my car transmitting to you in Orlando, Florida at the ham station, Jim, over.
Roger that. And what radio is actually transmitting, sir?
The radio that's transmitting is a Flex 8600. The Flex 8600, and I'm using the Flex Maestro, which is basically the front end of the transceiver in my car here, and I'm doing the same thing the other gentleman is. I have a Wi-Fi hotspot in my car that's connecting me to the internet to my server at home. It's exactly the same as what he's doing, except it's a different radio, Tim, over.
Roger. So as I'm listening to your audio, it sounds like it's being restricted a little bit, like you could have some more volume there somewhere. So if you're in your car, I guess you're on the cell phone, maybe you could talk a little bit closer to your cell phone, or try to increase your level on your cell phone back to the transmitter audio-wise. See if you can bring up the audio just a little bit on your cell phone.
Okay, I'm doing that now. I came up basically 4 units. I came up 4 units on the audio input to the internet, Jim, over.
Roger. Okay, and your frequency response audio-wise is you're kind of a mid-rangey. There's not a lot on the bottom end. So what I would do, I would just make a note of that maybe we would want to go around 200 cycles plus 3 or 4, just to give it a little more body in the bottom end. Roger?
I will do that. I can't do it from here, Jim, but
Jeff. I have a graphic equalizer as part of the Flex radio at the house. I'll be happy to do that. I appreciate knowing this. By the way, this is just a hand mic that comes with the radio. It's not a desk microphone. It's a hand mic. That's probably part of it.
Roger, Roger. So I'm looking at your signal on the spectrum analyzer, and it's pretty much right around 1 kc, and you're peaking right at 1 kc pretty hard. So you do have some room to move out on the top and bottom side of the audio spectrum from 1 kc. Roger.
Oh, Roger. I understand exactly what you're saying, Jim. And I'll be going home on Sunday, and that's one of the first things I'll do. I appreciate your time, Jim. I think your service is extremely valuable, and it's valuable to us users so that we can maximize the quality of our rigs, Jim. This is KM4HH, over.
Roger, Roger, Bob. 73, sir. You are you are going to be challenged. The more things you have, the more challenged you are to get them all right at the same time. That's what I have found. But I wish you luck, sir, and this audio will be available to you after noon tomorrow. If you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. 73 there, Bob. Catch you later. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KG2,
Norway 3 Hotel.
There's station Norway 3. Come back again with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Norway 3 Hotel Kilowatt X-ray.
Is that Henry Kilowatt X-ray?
Roger. Hospitals keep X-rays. Name is Dennis in Pennsylvania.
Roger, Dennis. And let's see here. What's your radio today?
Yaesu FTDX 101D.
Roger. That's a fairly new radio, Roger.
Roger. Oh, geez. About a year ago, a couple of gentlemen in Hollywood, Florida worked over to P-Parametrics, and one fine-tuned it for about an hour and a half. Getting out the highs and the lows. I haven't touched it since, so this should look pretty good to you, over.
Roger, Roger. Well, I was just thinking, there's a couple of things that we need to check. I don't know, and maybe you don't know, but we both should know exactly what the transmit bandwidth is on that radio. It should be in that it should be in that wide mode, 100 to 2900. Wide, 100 to 2900 on your transmit bandwidth, Roger?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where to look for that. It's either 3 or 4K, that's all I know.
Yes, sir. I could give you a hint. It would be menu, settings, transmit, sideband. Right in that area would be your transmit bandwidth, and then one past that would be your transmit EQ. Roger?
Okay, I did menu settings. What's next?
Transmit sideband.
No, it's not there. It says mode SSB, mode AM, FM, PSK. Should I pick sideband?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I picked sideband. What was next?
You should have a transmit bandwidth right in that area. And we're looking for 100 to 2900.
TBW.
TBW, transmit bandwidth.
Second.
Sorry, TBW, transmit bandwidth.
Yeah, I moved it, scrolled it all the way to the top with my stylus. It starts off AGC's low cut. Let me scroll down. I don't see any transmit bandwidth yet. 1 second.
TBW.
Yeah, we went through that. Well, I tell you, probably the best thing is to take notes. Take a note on that. We want your radio to be in that transmit bandwidth of a wide 100 to 2900. That's the note for your transmit bandwidth, TBW.
Yeah, I got TTBF, transmit BPF. Well, I'll look for that. I got one more click.
It'd be simpler just to take a note if you're not real sure, But it should be right in that area, transmit bandwidth. I mean, of course, they may call it something else. Hey, bird in a nest or something. Now, these manufacturers sometimes take a lot of liberties with stuff that, to me, a compressor is a compressor. It's not a compander. It's not, it's not whatever it is. It's a compressor. And ICOM says tone control board. Tone control board? Gosh, that would be an equalizer, wouldn't it? I mean, these guys are strange.
Yeah, it's transmit BPF select. Then I touch the TTBF and highlighted in yellow, meaning it has not been disturbed. 100-2900 hertz.
Yes, sir. Does it have a word called wide on it, just out of curiosity?
No, main or sub. Out level is 50. Rear select, rear port, and I'm at the bottom of scrolling, and nothing for wide.
Yes, sir. Okay, so, but the magic frequencies are 100 to 2900. That's the main thing. That leaves your transmitter with the ability to have the highest frequency response capabilities. And I could say that for some reason or another, if your TBW had been moved to 500 to 2500, now that's one of those frequency response things. It's kind of akin to two cans on a piece of wire or string or whatever. It's very low resolution. But if you didn't know to check for that, you could be in that mode and spend the rest of your life transmitting in that funky mode and not know it. So it's important that we double check to be sure that our transmitters are in that wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger, TBW.
Okay, Roger. I understand. And I'm on factory settings.
Roger. Yeah, we're doing 100 to 2900. I don't. That's the main thing. Factory settings, whatever, maybe, but 100 to 2900, and it's in the bag, Roger.
Yeah, and when they're highlighted and written in yellow, that means that's how they were. No one's disturbed it.
Sounds like famous last words to me, but whatever. So then we move on to our compressor processor. We want that on just a very small amount of 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just barely touching that compressor processor. No one would even know that you're running it. So compressor processor on at a 3, Roger?
Yeah, it's on. I can tell you already. The compressor's on. It's at 65. The mic gain's at 60. And with it off, the ALC floats in the upper level of the upper 1/3. Never goes over into the blue, just floats in the white while I talk. Over.
Roger. Okay, I'm just suggesting that we're looking to try to come up with a 3 dB dynamic range. Unprocessed audio coming from, without equipment being hooked to it except an amplifier and a microphone is called a 10 dB dynamic range situation because there is no processing involved in the audio, so it's a 10 dB dynamic range. But that's too shallow, too short, too weak to really be used in ham radio. So what we want to do is condense that 10 dB dynamic range to a 3 dB dynamic range and go from a 30% of peak modulation to an 80 to 85% of peak modulation.
Roger that. Well, I have a question for you, and it's the reason I stopped in when you said you could listen to this. having an RF problem with a certain antenna. It seems that getting RF into the microphone. And right now the amplifier is on. It's running 1.4 kilowatt. It's 2L DMOS amplifier. Is the audio clean, or am I getting any RF in causing it to be spiky? Over.
No, sir. I'm looking at your audio on a spectrum analyzer, and you're very peaky towards the mid-range. And I'm also hearing something else in the background on a low frequency. So what I'm suggesting is that you increase your signal-to-noise ratio. I want you, instead of what you meant to be 5-6 inches away from that mic, I want you to be about 2 inches away from that mic. Roger?
Roger, I know what you're talking about. Here we go. I'm actually going to pull a mic gain back because that's taking up the distance. All right, we lowered the mic gain by 10, and now I moved up to the 2-3 inch mark. Over.
Okay, so it sounded a lot better there without that lower frequency in there. That can only be an omen of trash to come. So that's why I wanted to get you closer to Mike to increase your signal-to-noise ratio. Roger?
Roger. Hey, well, thank you very much. If you said the scope looks okay and you're not hearing anything physical to your ears, that is raspiness, as if RF was getting in. I know I'm okay here on 40 meters with the amplifier. Thank you so much from N3HKX.
Roger. Now, the only other alternative would be if you wanted to experiment down with adding some lower frequencies to your audio capability and transmit mode. As I mentioned before, your audio is up towards the mid-range and then rolls off pretty much on either side. So what I would suggest, and we could experiment with it if you had just a moment, would be on EQ1, which is your bass frequency. What frequency are you using on your bass EQ, number one?
I don't know. Is that in the menu?
It should be right in the area where you were, where you had your TBW. It should be really close to that area, Roger. It's a definition of your sideband circuit equalization, Roger.
Yeah, give me the words I'm looking for again.
Equalizer would be what it is, but God knows what they might call it. I don't know, the kiss of God or something. These guys are strange. But to me, it's just a very simple word. We're doing equalizer. We're doing a modulation index. Audio. Frequency response. I just use basic words. But I do use a combination of compressor processor because that says both of them. So somebody has an idea of what we're talking about. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, it's not in here, and all the other settings have been highlighted in yellow, meaning they're still interrupted from the factory. So it's the way Yaesu sent it out. No, I'm good to go. I want to let you go and work on somebody that has comes to you with a problem that you could obviously hear. You don't really, nothing really sticks out with me, so it's been set this way for a year. I'm happy to let it roll along the way. 73's and have a great day from Dennis near Allentown, Pennsylvania, the town Billy Joel made famous.
Roger, Dennis. Well, listen, 73 to you, sir, and if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, and I'll bet you 25 cents that you do have an equalizer in your radio.
I sure do. Thank you.
This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. Elmer, you still there, sir?
Yes, I am. I got a question for you. How many people spend $3,000 or $4,000 on the radio, but they don't read the operating manual?
Everybody. I mean, that would be the last thing to read because you're taking out all of the fun. That's the fun of radio, is going in there with a hammer and a chisel. You don't need the book.
Yeah, and you leave it at factory settings, and you're wanting some results. You don't get results at factory settings.
Shh. Don't tell everything you know.
Well, there's another station out there. I heard another station. Pick him up.
KD2DPO.
Station ending in O. Come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign, please, sir.
KD2 Delta Papa Oscar.
Station ending in Oscar. I'm not real sure of the other two words that you had in front of that, but please give me your whole call sign phonetically slowly. No, phonetically. Get DPO. Is that what you're saying? D is in Don? Phonetically, give me your call sign slowly.
Okay, it's Kilo Delta 2 Delta Papa Oscar KD2 DPO.
Is that what's the name? What's the name there, sir?
Here's Anthony, and I want to know if you're familiar of Yazoo. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but handheld. It's FT5B, and I tried to get on GPS operation, and I goofed it off. I cannot turn it on with the on and off button, but I could turn it on with the F menu, but the screen don't come on. Back to you.
Yes, sir, Anthony. Well, gosh, I'm not really sure what your problem is on your radio, but I think your audio sounds fine. I'm listening. Let me see where I am here. I'm listening on my PA SDR, and your audio just sounds beautiful. So I don't think you really need to change anything in your transmitter. If you want to hear what it sounds like, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. And let me repeat that address one more time on YouTube. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in 3700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger, I am not on that handheld. I'm on a Lincoln DXSR8. I'm using 100 watts with a wire.
Yes, sir. Well, whatever microphone is doing you a great job. I wouldn't change a thing. I would run it exactly like that. Roger, Roger?
I would run it exactly like that. Roger, Roger?
Oh, Roger, Roger. So, thanks for helping there. I got to get somebody else there to do my handheld here. So, I'll clear with you. So, KD2, DPO will be clear.
Roger, Anthony. What's your location, sir? Where are you located, sir?
Roger, Anthony. What's your location, sir? Where are you located, sir?
We're location, Jamestown, New York, home of that redhead female comedian.
Roger, Roger, New York. And what radio are you running?
Roger, Roger, New York. And what radio you're running?
We are running here a Lincoln DXSR8. I think it's pretty old here. I bought it used for, I think it was about $400. I think I made a good deal.
Roger, Roger. Well, it's sounding really good. I wouldn't change a thing. Run it just like that. So let me say 73 to you, Anthony. Thanks for dropping by. I hope you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you, Roger.
Weekend, if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you, Roger.
Roger, I'll try to get on that air here, so I'll clear with you. So KD2, DPO is clear.
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger.
KC9VKV and 9GTO.
Go ahead, GTO.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Have you ever thought about doing a tutorial on the 7300 with a camera close to it and you going through all the steps?
No. No, I'd just rather we do it kind of like this, just bump along. I think, the average Qso-Vlog is somewhere around 8 minutes, 8 minutes. Sometimes it gets longer and sometimes it gets shorter, but we've managed to hit all the high spots. And I think the hardest one to hit and the most relevant one is that transmit bandwidth, because nobody even thinks, nobody knows where the heck that is. That's how limited the knowledge of that transmit bandwidth adjustment is, and that is, once you specify a transmit bandwidth, say for instance 500 to 2500, which is a lousy transmit bandwidth, but once you specify something like that, you can do anything you want down in that radio to modify that to make it better, but you're not going to get anywhere because you've already specified that the transmit bandwidth will be 500 to 2500, which is, terrible. So unless you look at that and move it to that 100 to 2900 wide mode, you're forever what did they call that, where they come along and stamp your radio? Not very good, because it's going to sound like that. It's going to sound like 2 cans on a piece of wire.
So what you're saying is, since I spent $4,000 on an LDMOS amplifier and I haven't read the instructions, and I've got RF coming down one antenna, and I don't know why, but I don't know how to get to my bandwidth, I guess you're telling me I really need to read the manual.
Sounds like you have RF moving around there, and there's a number of reasons for that. One of those is an inconsistency between the high side. If you're not using a transformer, then you're running unbalanced. And if you're running unbalanced, then the ground side and the high side want to see some similarity of sameness. In other words, if you had your ground side running horizontal and your high side running vertical, it would be very difficult to achieve low SWR, because they're showing no similarity between each other. Roger?
Well, in other words, if you got a water hose without the sprayer and you turn it on, it's going to drip back down the hose. It's going to basically run back down on you, and that's what RF does. It's called common mode current. And if you put a sprayer on it, it's going to go way out.
Roger. Now, what was that? Is 11 feet of wire in a coil or something? I'm running a few of those, but, as far as... and those are out of RG8 or something. I mean, they're not going to be burning up like some of those other transformers,
Well, a Ballon has a core Ballon. I don't care who built it. It has a loss factor around, it's only around 65-70%. But if you take some good coax like 213 or LMR 400, and you wrap it around a 4-inch piece of PVC. And if you're going to go 10 to 160, you need 21 feet wrapped around that with some wire ties holding it. Or if you're just going to go to 10 meters through 10 through 40, then you can, half that. But that's called an ugly balun. That prevents the RF from flowing back down the coax.
Roger. That's I'm using that on this one, and no, I'm not. I'm using my tuner on that 160. So just the 40 and I think the 20 I'm doing that with.
Yeah, but most of your antennas are resonant.
Well, they are resonant to begin with, and then I find that the best way to handle that is again unbalanced. I'm just an unbalanced kid, so I mean, there's nothing else to burn up there, hardly if you're unbalanced. But then chop the SWR off the ground side and only. And then move it back onto frequency on the high side only. And, you go back 2 or 3 times making SWR adjustments on your ground side and frequency adjustments on your high side. And you're going to be there, you're going to be down at not even being able to see your SWR move, Roger.
Well, in my terms of my digital watt meter, if I don't see any kind of reflective power, it means I'm not transmitting. So, and I'm sure it's in, milliwatts, but it definitely shows it.
Yes, sir. Well, you can take it on down there. If you can't see the meter move, but you can see your positive going out, then you're transmitting. You can see that. It's just that your SWR is so low that it's not really showing on that. If you have a what do they call a duplex meter where you're watching SWR and forward gain at the same time?
Cross needle.
Yeah, Roger, cross needle. That's a great meter to tune with.
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, the dial with the 901, for PEP, you can't see the SWR. For RMS, you can.
Roger. Now, I've always maxed out the PA in the term of using RTTY as a tune signal. So I'm putting my 7300 on RTTY and max out on my PA, Roger.
Roger that. What time is it, Jim?
It's way past my bedtime, bud.
All right, 73s. God bless. For those who's listening, November 9, Golf Tango Oscar, up here on the hill.
Roger, 73. Have a good night over there. Stay warm. And we'll catch you later. If anybody participated that would like to hear the audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to this recording. I'm sorry, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. So that's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So, and with all that being said, we got to get out of here and change this back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV, clear.